ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Ralph's Automotive. Gonna do us a quick video. 2001 Kia Rio, 1.5 liter. I do believe it is. It doesn't really matter. Make sure you see what I'm going to show you here. So I have what I have done is I took the battery out. I took the intake snorkel, took it off. I wasn't actually going to do the video, but I thought, well, I don't make a lot of videos. I haven't been making a lot of videos here lately, so I'm going to go ahead and bring you along. What we're going to do here is clutch change. So my clutch cable popped off of me a while ago. It's also to the fullest of its extent. I'm going to get the camera off here. Get you a little shot of that going. Get you some quick. What we're going to do, I'm going to remove the battery tray. I got to take the want to take the coolant reservoir, the windshield washer reservoir, two 10mm bolts. Take them loose, and you got some 10s on the wire here, and got a 10 underneath it here. Well, that's already loose, so we got a 10mm headed bolt right there, and then there's also some on the frame down there. They get that out of the way. Not going to film all that, but what I'm after is to get a little bit more clearance here so I can see. You really don't have to do that. It's not necessarily something you have to do, but whoa, makes it easier. The next thing we're going to go after, there's a bolt right there. We'll have to get rid of our wires and undo the bolt here. And there's one on top there on the crown, and there's one on the other side. These here, all that has to be done from the top. One more. I don't know that the camera will see it, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts up top here. I got to get off, the best of my recollection. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to remove the tray. Not going to film all that. And all I've done so far is took a couple of minutes to unhook the battery, you know, tuck the wires off to the side, and generally I've done them in the past. This is an older car, you know, and it's an old work truck or work car, what it is. And it looks like we got a mouse right there come along with it. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started on that. So the guy just wants to clutch put back in it so he can drive it back and forth to work. That's all we're after. Guess one more thing. I didn't look anything up on this one here. I remember it from back when, and I may be wrong in some of the things I'm telling you, but we'll go ahead and correct that as we go. These things are wide open, generally fairly easy to do. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Like I said, this battery tray, it's not absolutely necessary that we undo it, but I like to have room when I'm doing it. The 3 or 4 minutes that I spend, you know, taking it off, get it out of the way. Everything is wide open and clear now. So to me, time well spent, but to each their own. I'm gonna go ahead and spray the adjuster. The cable, the clutch cable, I'm going to go ahead and spray that down with something. It is all the way, and it's at the end of its travel. I gotta get some more lubricants. I'm about out a lot of stuff. Not that that would concern you guys, but I'm just saying. 10 mil as well, and bends it's on the end of its adjustment. Socket ain't going to do no good on that one. trying to get the job done fairly quick, you know. So that may be a 12. I may have been wrong on that one. Yep, 12 mil. Well, that should be enough to get the socket on it now. Switch that over to a socket. Yes, I am going to go ahead and take it all the way off. What I'm going to do is, here is the dowel, the drill dowel that sits on the front of it. Then of course the nut cradles it. So the reason I took it all the way off, you don't really have to do that. The reason I did it is, we're going to clean all this up before we put that back on. Make it shiny, put some grease or something like that on it. That's how I'm going to proceed with this. Yeah, that thing right there is good and seized. We have no clutch action on that one, as far as, you know, pushing the pedal. Ain't a whole lot going on with it. I guess I should have added that in there. Gonna undo our ground, 12 mil, I'm assuming. And it is. Book time on it, 4 hours. In case anybody is interested in it. Well, actually, I want to go up a little bit on the book time. I do that on purpose, in case something happens. That way, you know, it's easier to sell a job. For us, you know, it's easier to sell a job and not have to add labor time to it after the fact. People generally don't like that so much. So from I think it's actually 3.2 hours or something like that, at least the information that I got. And like I said, I quoted 4 to do this job. And normally it's actually done quicker, but you don't never know what might happen. 17 mil for the clutch bracket. Jesus friggin' Christ. I keep knocking the light over. You'd learn. I think you'd learn to put the light someplace else, but I haven't figured that one out yet. Put another extension on top of that. I don't hit the damn brick line. I'm gonna kill it. God almighty. Woo! Regroup on that one. We're going to regroup on that one. So I ordered me in a set of the Tecton impact sockets. We'll try them out. See if they hold up. Just realized I grabbed the wrong socket. Y'all big dummy. Don't know about that bolt. This is exactly what I was talking about the time. This bolt here is fighting its way out. So those are some of the things, you know, you don't know what's going to happen until you get there. Of course, use power tools whenever possible. So we take our, ran out of battery, but that's no big deal. Got the batteries now. Anyway, like I said, we got the bracket off. Okay, that other than the wire back there and the speed sensor, that should be about it. Top side. Gotta be careful with that speed sensor. Well, we don't damage it. A lot of times they stick in the holes pretty good to where you can't hardly get them out. But definitely don't want to break it. If I break it, I gotta buy it. $17 on that bolt that has the bracket for your plugins. Once we get that fished out of the way, we'll see about that. If we can't lift that speed sensor out of there, okay, that was actually fairly easy. Get you a shot at this, show you what I just did. So, can we see that? Yeah. So, here's your speed sensor, which is in the housing back here, and the metal bracket That's that right there. That has got this first bolt that would take out. And now we're going to go up on the other side and take the other bolt out. And I think our size changes over there. We can get 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts out of here. I'll back you up again. Should get one below here. We should be able to get that one. No problem at all. Got one more wire to unplug. We're going to do that later on from the bottom. And one back there in the corner. Like I said, I don't know that this is actually the same size. And short answer on that is no, it is not. Let's see what we're switching to. Don't know what that is. Start grabbing it. Hard to tell from here. It is for me anyway. The sheet metal bracket is just a little bit close. See if I can get the bar in there and pry it just a smidge, just enough to be able to get my socket up in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, much better. A little bit tight there, so I'll try this here 14 and see what we got. Alright, so that is in fact a 14 on that side. Of course, I wish I wouldn't have lost my ratchet already. Whew. That should have everything top side. I might take that back. There's one more, I think. Let's see. One more over here, so that makes it 5 volts. The other one here is 14. At least I'm thinking it's supposed to come out. If not, well, oh well, go back in. Trying to secure the engine. Good enough. I think that'll hold for what we're trying to do. So I'm gonna pause the camera for just a minute. I'm going to take the wheels off of here, take a peek underneath. Well, I'll turn the camera back on for that. I'm going to take the wheels off. Won't have to be very careful with the CV axle. The boot's all messed up. There's fixing to be another repair there, but anyway, we're going to take the bolt out of the knuckle. That control arm right there. We'll take the bolt out of it. We'll take the axle nut over here. We'll take it loose. Okay. I'll let you know what size that is, and basically that's what I thought it had. This is a subframe right here. No big deal to pop them out normally, but also right now I'm going to go ahead and drain the fluid out of here. We are going to do a fluid change on it. It takes about 3 quarts of 80 W90. We're going to do that while we're at it, and after we get that done, we gotta do the shift linkage. We gotta unhook it, and after that, that's about the extent of it. That thing here will be ready to come out. So stay tuned. Of course, we got some more bell housing bolts. Goes without saying, you know, we're not exactly done with those yet. But anyway, so I'm gonna get the draining. Kind of self-explanatory. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all that and turn the camera back on. A lot of you guys don't like them real long videos, so as you can see, I took the subframe out of it. What I did is we put the drain plug back in it too, by the way. But what I did is I took the through bolt out of the bracket on the front, and actually on the back I undid it on the transmission because it's easier to do. So subframe is out. I guess I really should have said something about the importance of having a bar, you know, to hold the engine up in place, because And right now, all of that good stuff is hanging up on the bar up top. Of course, not a lot of weight here. I still got to pop the bolts out of the knuckles, get the CV axles out of there, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the camera up again. Like I said, I know a lot of you guys just don't like them long videos. So anyway, 29 millimeter on the axle shaft nuts. Just add something else in there as far as the skill level. It wouldn't take much. Phew! This is actually a very easy job to do. Rust is falling. I don't know, that thing may come from New York. Just kidding. Oh, my lordy. I'm gonna have to get a bigger pecker. My big pecker at. There we go. A little bit better. There's one. Of course, I mushroomed that, not a problem. What we do is just grind the end like a cone. Get us a punch. Try to punch this one here out the rest of the way. Oh yeah. No problem. Now, something that I like to do is drive a little wedge in there, open them things up, be a little wedge, and stick it in the slot right there and just open them up a little bit. Alrighty. Now for the fun part, see if we can get them out of there. Well, it was all real smooth, but I did forget one thing. In the back of the, on the back side of the engine, there is this bracket. And the starter is above it. The starter got to come out. I did forget about that. So, like I said before, no big deal. Wide open spaces, so not a big deal there at all. So, unplug a couple of sensors, and of course, here we are. Man, smells burnt. The fingers are just about rubbed in too, so I can certainly see the adjustment problem where it came in. Don't seem like seal or anything like that is leaking, but anyway. Get that pulled out of here. Not a very big transmission. Definitely don't want to throw it in the floor. I was fixing to. Of course, like I said, this thing, whew, man, smells bad. This thing here ain't big enough to mount anything, so at this point in time, it's just a matter of getting the pressure plate off of here, see what kind of damage we got going on the flywheel. Might be a possibility that we have to resurface that, but well, we'll see. Compression galore right there. Oh yeah. Spins nice and free. Yeah, two more and that thing will fall off. Put this bolt out of my hand. Alright. Well, that should be it, other than it sitting in its dowels. Ooh, well, sitting in the dowel real good. Yowzers! I found the splinter. Yeah, got it. Clutch is still in there, it's cooked on there. The clutch actually wasn't all that bad. I mean, it's down, don't get me wrong, but it was also stuck to the flywheel. Doesn't help matters none. Yeah, she was completely rusted on there. I'm not going to make a big deal out of that, guys. So remember, this is old work car. I almost said old beater, but that's not mine to say, and I didn't mean it that way. You know, it's a work car is all it is, and we're not going to make a big deal out of it. I'm probably going to Scotch Brite it, and we'll put the clutch assembly in it, and we'll go from there. You know, we've got it here, so we'll put that in. Like I said, this whole job, we've been working on it for a little over an hour. You know, it goes together just as fast as it came apart, so no big deal there. While we're over here, we need to investigate the pilot bearing. That pilot bearing is a little bit rough. I'm not for sure that the kit that he's got has got the pilot bearing in it, but I'm going to suggest to him that we change the pilot bearing.